All right, so I got a few minutes to spare here while I'm in my car, so I want to make a video about the ancestry DNA. Now, before I get into it, there are a lot of people out there that are very reserved about taking the ancestry DNA test, and I totally respect that. But just be aware, if you've ever submitted a urine or a blood test, your DNA does go to those labs, and if you think they throw them out and don't have your DNA access, you might be surprised. A lot of them keep that stuff, so they probably can't use it in the court of law because it's not your consent. However, they still have access to your DNA. So even if you don't take the DNA test through Ancestry DNA or 23andMe, your DNA is still accessible. Also, if somebody who's related to you who have taken those tests, your DNA is accessible as well. But again, Ancestry DNA and 23andMe, the only difference is you're giving consent and permission that if it does go to court, like if you ever kill somebody, you're giving consent that they can use that. That's really the only difference. So as far as accessing your DNA, just want to put it out there. Every time you get your blood or urine drawn, or urine test sample, your DNA is accessible by the companies and labs. So one quick thing about ancestry DNA in specific is a lot of people question, is it valid? Is it true? Well, put it like this. There are people finding out that their fathers that they grew up with in their household in their whole life, they're finding out it's not their fathers. And the reason being is because ancestry DNA is showing them that their mom had an affair and that their father is really not their biological dad. And there are a lot of stories going around like that. So I would say that ancestry DNA is valid. Now, when it comes to ethnic ancestry and history, I think it's valid, but I also think it requires some more research on your part than just spitting in a tube and running with the results that they send to you. Because remember, you are getting results based on modern borders of today, not how they were 10 generations ago when they actually are sampling from, generations back then. So, for example, there are people who really believe, they're like, hey, why don't I see like an American state in my DNA? I'm an American. As an example, well, America didn't exist before the 1700s or whatever. America's a very young country. So many generations ago, there was no what you call America in that sense. Now the land exists, the continent existed, but the demographics and the native indigenous people inhabited this land did not call it America at that time. So if you see something on there like native indigenous that show up on your results, that would be something similar to what you would call an American. But at the end of the day, just understand whatever your results are, people are misinformed about the results. Like they might see Italian show up. Well, the Roman Empire conquered a lot of Europe and for long periods of time. So you might have some Italian DNA in you and you didn't even know it. Stuff like that. So just make sure you go beyond the results. It's a good starting point, but do some history and some research.